Sanke. For you, coffee.
I'm a living example of you can get punched in the face and get back up, because I'm the modern day Aztec warrior.
What's up? Welcome to MMA Underground.
We here, we live. Let's go.
Now, we have two guests today, and we have first that you can see a wonderful BKFC fighter, a straight beast, Khortni Kamyron.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Glad to have you on tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we said a little bit right before we got live that, you know, she did just have her debut against Crystal Pittman. I know the BKFC, you know, like Jay was saying, one of the guys behind the guy behind the camera, you know, they worked promoting the hell out of her as a fighter. And you came out and just put on one hell of a performance. Can you tell us how you felt after that win? Just such a monster win.
I think that is probably like the highest of highs that you can get as a fighter. It was my pro debut on a phenomenal promotion, on a sold out crowd at my hometown against a very established opponent. It really doesn't get any better than that. I was just on cloud nine for a while.
No, fair enough. I was not gonna lie. That Mike Richmond, when he got that win, you know, the Maroon. How did you see Lorenzo Hunt like run up to the ring? Did you get to see that in person?
I did. So I was actually up in the stands visiting with some friends of mine, and somebody was like, "What the fuck?" And I turned around and he was walking right up to the ring, and I was like, "Oh, here we go." It was like one of those things where you just kind of expect it to happen all the time.
It's kind of why, like, half the fun, you know, in sports. I mean, how many times in UFC someone runs up to the cage, I'm gonna beat your ass, you know?
Yeah, I've seen it. I actually saw it happen in person at Knucklemania. I think Jenny Savage, bless her heart, she threw some water or something on Britain, and I mean, it was kind of fun to see. And that was, you know, almost 2 years ago. I loved every second of it.
Yeah. Now you do a BKFC. I was gonna say I saw that you've done boxing, MMA, kickboxing. What's kind of your fight background? I mean, you seem really diverse.
Yeah, I've kind of done a little bit of everything. I started out in kickboxing and Muay Thai, and then we decided to try it at just boxing. I had a boxing offer on like 8 days notice back in 2020, and I was like, sure, what the hell. So I did it, and I was successful. And then I did another boxing fight a month later and was successful at that one too. And then let's see, I had another kickboxing title fight, and then I took some time off and really worked my ground game because I wasn't quite sure what direction I wanted to go when the pro part came. So we worked some grappling, and then I did my first MMA fight. I did a combat and a sport sambo competition, just to, you know, throw that in the mix of everything. And then I went back and did more MMA. And after my last MMA fight, I took a lot of damage to my face. And I was like, you know, I really don't think bare knuckle is going to be all that bad. So let's try that one too. Like, you never know unless you try. So.
Like, just go all the way for it, huh?
Yeah. I'm going to just try everything.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah. I think you're the first person I've spoken to who's dabbled with Sambo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think that's pretty impressive. What's your thoughts on that?
It's hard actually. It's
Say
like
so.
MMA, but you
What's
have
that
to
name?
wear the jacket and the headgear, when you're doing combat sambo, and it just makes it hot. You can't breathe. And it's just nonstop. As soon as you hit the ground, they stand you back up. So it was 5 minutes was like the longest 5 minutes of my life. So
What's
Y'all
up,
can hear me?
SaySo?
You got SaySo KO in the building.
How y'all doing?
hello.
Chilling, man.
Good.
Good to have you.
Oh yeah, nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got two monsters on the show tonight.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's right. Officially StreetBeefs West Coast SaySo KO. And you got the BKFC Khortni Kamyron bam right there. Man.
Yeah.
So this is a sorry, you go first.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, buddy.
No, I was just gonna say, since we both on two different platforms, I like asking this. It's like SaySo KO. Have you watched BKFC? And then Courtney, do you ever watch StreetBeefs or have you heard of it before? So
I haven't.
I was about to say. I mean, I've heard of BKFC, but I've never got to watch a fight from it.
hell yeah.
Hey, both of y'all should watch respectively each other's fight.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
Hey, that bare knuckle shit, SaySo. I don't suggest it, but I think you like it just off the fact that it's just raw shit. They just going hands up.
Oh, yeah.
And Khortni StreetBeefs is like it's almost like a family gathering where we get together and we just beat on each other. It's real entertaining, but it's also a fellowship behind what we do.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Awesome.
Well said. I like that.
Yeah, I think bare knuckle is probably the closest you're ever going to get into an actual legal fight. You just can't kick, but that's what they got bare knuckle MMA for.
Get the hell out of here.
I want to do me some bare knuckle one day. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
One day.
You are? All right. I can see that from some of the way you fight. I'm like, all right. I was curious though, because I mean, you come out, SaySo KO, very explosive in your fights. I mean, I've seen some speed, and obviously I've seen the power when they make connect. Where's that explosiveness come from? You play sports when you were younger? You just naturally got that move?
Yeah, I played all types of sports when I was younger. I ain't gonna lie, from football, basketball, baseball, swimming. I ran track. Yeah, I've been athletic all my life, so it kind of come natural.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, no lie. I was trying to watch both your fights off the live feed the other day, but I was only able to catch the MMA one.
Yeah.
But damn, bro, like thinking back to that fight, I'm visualizing you were damn near fighting bare knuckled in. You know what I mean? This man was in an MMA match, but I mean throwing hands, throwing monster hands, and then sneaking in those little knees. I saw a little knee too. I was like,
the funny thing is, I asked him after the fight. I was like, "Did you even feel any of those knees?" He was like, "You threw a knee?" I was like, "Oh."
Hey, but it was good to see though.
It was fun though. I ain't gonna lie. I knew I had to keep it, standing up, because I had a feeling, his hands wasn't compared to mine, but I knew if I would have went to the ground, I knew I would have been over, because I don't know how to know BJJ or none of that.
You look like you know how to wrestle a little bit though.
I can wrestle. I can wrestle a little bit because I used to do it as a kid, just playing around with my friends and stuff. But once it started getting into locking up and all that, then it's a whole different ball game then. Got you.
Well, that leads into the next question. Like, what are you guys doing in terms of training? Because StreetBeefs is a certain type of fight, and bare knuckle is a certain type of fight. So, like specifically, let's start with Khortni. What are some of the things that you guys do as far as training regimen?
I did a lot of pad hitting with MMA gloves as opposed to big gloves. But we worked just a lot of boxing technique and just keeping my hands super crisp. I didn't do a whole lot of knuckle conditioning. I think I did a few rounds where my teammates would put on small gloves and they would, condition my forearms, and I would, try to block with elbows and stuff like that, go in with my head down more. But other than that, I just train like I would for a normal fight.
Yeah, pretty much about the same. I ain't gonna lie. I don't have no sparring partners or nothing. Everything I do is just for me. So I just go to the gym. I got in the apartment, hit the bag a couple times, and you feel me, when I get, good advice like some K be giving me, I just try to utilize that and, try to use it in my fights when they come up.
You fight your wife, you fight your kids.
I do. I be trying to spar with my kids and wife too sometimes because I don't have no sparring partner. So
you got a choice. Come here. I was gonna say, do your kids like watching your fights? Because I know my kids love it. So I was like,
I love coming to them.
I have one that does and one that doesn't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, come on, you got to support still. You don't want to watch it, but no.
Yeah, like my daughter, she's not keen on watching me get hit, but my son, he'll be there screaming, and he fights too. So it's kind of
that's cool.
Dang, all right. So you're like, all right, cool. And if I don't like her boyfriends, I'll pay you money, $20. You whoop his ass, $40. You make it.
yeah.
If you're watching,
Do you see your son taking it, seriously, like to your degree, to your level?
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
But he's only 13 right now, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's just kind of doing it for the fun of it right now.
Got you.
Yeah.
Now, I was curious though, because you have a very unique spelling to your name. Whenever you did competitions or anything before, has anyone ever butchered it trying to read it out loud? Or
No. Thankfully, as I started out, I started with local promotions. So they were all people that we kind of knew within the state and then intrastate. And so in conversations, they would get my name. And then all of the ring announcers are usually really good about getting with you before the fight, especially because my name is so screwed up. And they'll be like, how do I pronounce your name? So, and then the more I got out there, the more people knew my name. Obviously, you're just kind of stuck.
Yeah, you got the nickname. You don't got the nickname, the Headhunter, SaySo, KO. You have that name. Can you guys tell me how you kind of got those names? You want to go first, SaySo?
Honestly, I got my name when I was about 16. SaySo. You feel me? Just honestly running the streets and stuff like that. My friends, they put it on me because everybody was following me. It was like, like I was the leader type thing. So it was just like SaySo. What I say, a lot of my friends did, So that's how I got that. And KO, I just, it was supposed to be originally KOK, Knockout King. But, when I started out, they just said KO and I just left it there. Like, forget it.
That's awesome.
Hey, it got a ring to it, no lie.
Huh?
It got a ring to it, no lie.
Yeah.
That's
for sure.
Might as well.
Mine came from my original head coach. He's the one that got me started with everything. And he tried a couple of nicknames like Morning Star, the medieval weapon that's a Morning Star. And I was like, I don't like that. And then he does this with a lot of fighters. He'll just make a post and throw a nickname in there and it just kind of sticks. Right. So he called me the Headhunter one day and I was like, I like it. It's good. And I was like, where the hell did that come from? And he goes, well, you've been taking heads. I think I was on like a 4 or 5 fight win streak at the time. And he's like, you're going out there, you're taking everybody's heads off. And he's like, but you're also the head of your family, the head of, you and your kids. You're a hunter. It just makes sense. And I was like, okay. He called my son the Berserker. Yeah. And so when I looked it up, I was like, oh my God, that like explains my son to a T, the way he fights and everything. It's cool. Like sometimes they just pop out and they stick.
The Headhunter. Yeah, that has like a, you hear the headhunter, you're like, oh damn, hold on, let me see this.
I had one gal when I made my MMA debut. Her nickname was the Alley Cat, and so she wrote up this cool little article about the hunter hunting the cat, and like it worked really, really well. It was super cool.
There you go.
You know, it's always nice when there's a little showmanship, a little backstory, a little something extra to sell the fight. It's always nice.
Oh yeah, I love it. I don't like being one of those assholes. It's like, fuck you, you know. I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say so. Okay, I seen you fight in a couple of the West Coast yards. You think you might make your way to Dirty South, Scrap Yard, OG, or you just want to keep it West Coast for a while?
I just fought in Dirty South. That's where I'm at now.
Talk to him.
What?
Yeah, that's where I'm at now, and I'm in Dirty South. I just had 2 fights out there. That's the one Sam K was talking about, the MMA fight, and then I had a boxing match right after that.
Damn!
Yeah.
I missed the live.
It was fun. My first actual KO too. My boxing match. Man, you don't know how that made me feel.
Talk to us
It's like
about
the best feeling in the world.
I ain't get a chance to see it. Let's hear it.
Yeah, man. Honestly, dude, he was giving me a good fight. You know, he gave me a real good fight, but I kind of was familiar with his style. He kind of fights like GA. You know, he kind of fight like Golden Norm. So I kind of played his style against him, knowing how he was coming, because he was like a bum rusher. He'll, just bum rushing me. I just covered up, and then threw my shots when I can. And luckily, one of them came through the way I wanted it to, and put him down. You know.
Yeah, Nasty Native posted that. He posted like a little snapshot of the moment, and I ain't gonna lie, I was so happy for you, bro. You pulled it with my KO. I was like, yeah, we got one.
For real. Especially coming off like a kind of losing streak, how it was, It's just like, that put a good boost on me real quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I like to tell everybody,
streak and you come back with that like dominant kill kind of win. Same thing for me. I was on a 2-fight skid.
And yeah.
It's brutal. I feel that right there. But like you said, yeah, you lose a couple fights, you come out that way, you're just, ooh, that feels good, that tastes good. Let's get some extra.
Yeah, everybody loves a comeback story. Everybody.
Oh yeah.
Right. Now, I was gonna ask Khortni, when you fought Crystal, like I said, you were very dominant in that round. But sometimes, as a fighter, all of us have seen it. When you kind of outclass someone a little bit, you can see it in their eyes. They give up, but they don't want to show it. But they're there trying to just finish the round. I felt like that kind of happened around like round 2, and I saw like in round 5 also when you took a knee real quick down. That she came in through a quick 2 little uppercuts, try to sneak them real quick. I don't know, how did that make you feel? I mean, do you kind of agree? I mean.
So I feel like probably in the 3rd, I knew that I was winning the fight. And I was anticipating her to come out strong in 4 and 5, because at that point she needed to put me down to be able to secure the win. As far as the grounded strikes go, I put her down in the 3rd and I backed off immediately. I'm not going to knock her for striking me when I'm down. Like, we all do it. If I would have done the same thing, like, I would have expected the same repercussions. You know what I mean? Like, there's no, I'm not pissed off about it. Because you're in a fight, you're supposed to protect yourself at all times. I think only one of them landed, and it was a delayed knee on my end, because she had struck me and then took a step back. My eye shut off, and it took me a quick second to like process it. And I was like shit, I need to kneel down. So I took a knee, and then she came right over, and she was mid-step already by the time I went down. So, you can't stop your momentum. But again, shit happens.
We're in a fight, and sometimes shit happens all the time.
Yeah.
What would you say that was your Worst injury in a fight?
No. So actually in my second MMA fight, which was last September, I broke my my zygomatic arch in the first round, and I finished the fight, won that fight, and didn't know my face was broken until a week later. So that's probably the worst injury. But my last MMA fight back in May, the girl that I fought and we beat the shit out of each other for 5 rounds. Like, I couldn't go into public for like 10 days because my face was so beat to shit afterwards. So I think those two are probably the worst of it. I've had my eye shut off before in training. Like, there's when bone connects with bone, it does a lot of weird stuff with your nervous system. We were training one night and my coach at the time had knocked on my eye and my eye just shut off. So it's really weird. But when you start dicking around with stuff like that, like, weird things happen. But it wasn't, it didn't hurt or anything like that. It was just like a flash, nerve thing where my eyes were like all over the place.
What about you, SaySo, KO? You ever had an injury? Or what's the worst you've been hurt in a fight?
Honestly, fighting GA probably. I had a headache for like 2-3 weeks. Like, yeah, I mean, he did a lot of back of the head shots, but that's
big arms.
All part of the game, huh?
He's got some big arms too. They're like,
yeah, facts.
They're like, man, you're as big as my thighs. What the heck?
Hey, real talk. Golden Arms is built like he's built like an action figure, bro. He
really is.
He punches like an action figure. It's wild.
Yeah.
I never
the worst.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say my question for you also was from your very first fight to your most recent fight, what do you feel is your biggest improvement?
My striking, honestly, because like from my very first fight, I was just out there just throwing them, making sure just throwing them, and to recently, I kind of pick my shots better. I try to throw them more precise now, type, But yeah, I still need to work on my head movement because I be getting hit too much.
Move your feet; it helps. Head work comes from footwork.
True.
True. Oh, yeah. I was like, I gotta do that. That's why we don't stand so stiff.
That's what my old coach, he would always tell me, "You're not moving your head. Why is your head not moving?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's my feet are not moving."
I don't care.
So he would ask me mid-fight if I was taking punches and shit. He'd be like, "Head work comes from," and I was like, "Oh shit."
Okay.
So then I'd start moving.
Mike, the fuck where we're okay.
Now, I was gonna ask Khortni that with the times now, a lot of stuff opened up, but did COVID and put any of your fight plans that you had on hold, or did it kind of like ruin them temporarily and put everything on a standstill, or?
No, I was actually very fortunate during COVID. I stayed really active. I think I fought 6 times in 2020. So, I was really, really fortunate that the 2 boxing fights that I had 2 title fights, 3 title fights. Yeah, I was really, really fortunate. We had to go to Cheyenne to go fight, but Cheyenne and Kansas, but because Colorado shut down completely. They didn't have any fights here for like 18 months or something. All the promotions that are local went up to Cheyenne because they were a little bit more lax on everything.
Oh no, I didn't.
Now, I have a question for both of you. What kind of inspires you to fight? Because I know everybody has a different reason deep down. I mean,
it's a great question.
That is a good question.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, really keeps me active. Honestly, I like the the workout behind it. A lot of the street beef fighters keep me active. Honestly, because watching them, it'd be like man, look at the improvement this dude made, especially the ones I didn't, you know, fought with or, you know, like them been around. It's like, man, like, yeah, I can see the improvements. I want to keep going too. You know, that it excites me, you know.
That's that accountability. In some weird way, we're all holding each other accountable.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that though.
I think that's where a lot of the real growth comes too. So, you know.
Yeah, that's what keeps me moving.
What about you?
I actually have never been more passionate about anything in my life. I am a fighter through and through. I never was like athletic. I think I played volleyball in high school, but that was it. I found kickboxing when I was 29 years old, and I fell in love with it. And it was therapeutic for me for a while, and then it became this passion that I can't walk away from it.
Yeah, facts. That's kind of how that started with me with Street Beef. Like,
went out there. Like you said, the accountability, the other people, like, holy shit, you're doing a good job. You know, I got done with my fight for BKFC. And when you do shit like that, you're like a celebrity for a night. You know, everybody's like, oh my God, like the whole world knows your name for about 3 days. And it's super cool. You know, I started out from nothing and I'm climbing to the top of the world. It's unreal.
That's dope.
Damn, no, I like that. Woo! When you got it, you got it. It's in your blood.
Hey, quick question for SaySo. How did you hear about Street Beefs?
YouTube, really. You know, me and my wife, we do YouTube, so I'm really always on YouTube. And I like fighting, I like boxing and stuff. And I was looking at a Mike Tyson fight, and I seen one of the OG yard fights, and I started watching it, and I was like, oh, this kind of dope. Then I started watching more and more, and I was like, I want to join this. You know, I want to be in this. Like, the first person that I wanted to fight, honestly, was BDW. I seen one of his fights, and I was like, that boy, you know, he got a lot of mouth. He talk a lot. I want to put him in his place.
Back when he had some weight on him, that would have been a hell of a fight. Damn.
So I was like, you know, that's really what made me join. Then I ended up finding a group on Facebook, signed up, and the rest is history.
Hell yeah.
I have to agree. Big Daddy Willie was one of my favorite fighters at first. I saw him with I think it was like Red Reaper, and I was like, oh, sheesh, okay.
Yeah, I seen him fight 619.
B-Dub was one of the very first. He was fighting before the West Coast was a branch. He had a couple fights in the OG yard before the West Coast was even made. So when he came to the West Coast, he already had a record. You know, it was crazy, you know, to see him progress and get better.
Yeah, thanks.
For sure.
Now, my favorite question that I love asking people because it gives me some new inspiration is, what is your favorite meal after a heavy ass workout, or you just finished fight day? You could just have something that's amazing, delicious. What is it? And I'll let you guys know mine. You know, I'm gonna get a nice big old piece of toast too. We'll go put some avocado on there, some greens. I'm gonna put a fried egg on top, extra pepper, no salt. Thank you. Mwah.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Honestly, I don't think I'd be too hungry after I finish working out. I'd be more tired. I just, you know, I'd rather just go to sleep. Like after I'm finished working out, you know, I'd be exhausted because I put everything in there. Once I hit the gym, I'm in the gym. You feel me? Like I put everything in the gym once I'm in there. So once I'm done, I'll be exhausted.
I'm the same. I'll take a shot of something. I'll have a really stiff drink to kind of bring my adrenaline back down and help me level out. But then sleep. And then one of the first things the next day is like breakfast, mimosas, tacos.
That's the way to do it.
I ain't gonna lie. After the fight, I gotta grub out. I definitely got to shower. I got to sleep. But before anything, we got to get to the food.
Yeah.
Forget the flowers and the party and the. I see y'all when I see y'all. It's time to eat. You know.
I don't know if you guys saw that question below from JJ, but he was asking if what's up, part of the fight 2 days coming out. If you guys ever been in the bar and you had to knock someone out or punch you in the mouth for talking to you sideways but not knowing who you are.
Set them straight, so to speak.
I have not. I've had a lot of, like, when I was cutting weight 2 weeks ago for my BKFC fight, I was driving through the parking lot and there's this chick walking across in front of my car. So I stopped and I was watching her and she turned around and she's like, "What the fuck are you looking at, you stupid ass bitch?" And I'm like, I'm really hangry right now and I'm supposed to fight bare knuckle next week. Like, don't fuck with me. I was like, I'm just gonna stay in my car because if I get out, I'm gonna beat this bitch's ass and I'll probably go to jail and then, you know, not happening. No, most of the time people talk shit and I just have to like look the other way because it ain't worth it.
I was gonna say that fighting it actually made me more humble. Like, you know, like I don't be wanting to engage with a lot of people no more because I know, you know, I be fighting. I don't know what they know still, but it's like, you know, you never know at that point. You know, like.
Yep, I agree. It makes you feel like more clear-headed when you're in shitty situations.
Yeah.
I feel like as a fighter, you can be a lot more level-headed in those situations. It's always the people who don't fight that got something to prove or try to act like they're top dog and everyone's shouting half the time, and it's like, you know, I'd knock your ass out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got into a DV with my ex-husband, and everybody around me was like, "Why didn't you beat his fucking ass?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me right now? Like." He's a full-grown man. I'm still a woman. If I didn't knock his ass out, he'd have probably killed me. So, you know, I was clearly in the right mind in the moment.
Right.
So
yeah.
I feel like when you trade
people take an L these days in a fist fight or in a fight in general. People can rarely take an L, and a lot of times people aren't thinking about the end result. You know, once they're initiating something with you, they're not thinking about the end result. They're not thinking about where it could go, you know. And us as fighters, we know where it's going, and then we also, some of us, we have the ability to think past after the fight where it could be, you know. That test, man.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing too is with my kids. When my kids are next to me and someone's trying to talk that mess, I'm like, I've got kids next to me. They keep talking. I'm like, oh, don't turn around. Oh, don't turn around.
yeah.
I'm like, thank you, kids. Thank you. I was like, if my girl's with me, then I'll be like, watch the kids. I'm like, what'd you say? No. Go ahead. I asked this question once before in another show. Only one other time, so you guys will be the second time. But if someone came up to you at Dream of the Lifetime sponsorship, who would it be? Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Fair enough.
That's a really good question. Shit.
I feel like that could be cool, but then, you know, I might get a little more freedom if I went with like maybe Reebok or something. You know, I might be able to design a couple more of my own shoes. Yeah.
Some big companies or brands that y'all fuck with. You know what I mean? That would, you'd be an asset, and as well as them being an asset. You know.
Yeah, probably. Nike
I take a lot of supplements, so. You know, there's a supplement company that I've been using for years, and their shit is just, they have like every kind of supplement in every fucking flavor imaginable. He's like, hey.
Bang.
I'm not saying that, and I'm just showing, you know, what
Yeah. But I mean, with the amount of money that I've spent on their website, I would probably say Bomar Nutrition, just because their shit's amazing.
You heard it. Make sure that you reference her. No.
Yeah.
B-Box. Y'all know the little B-Box liquor wine things?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those are strong.
Get some of them.
I can do that way. Now, I remember earlier when we were talking about different stuff, social media. You brought up how you had a YouTube with your wife. I was actually going to ask you if you could tell me a little bit about that. I saw a little bit of a couple, 1 or 2 episodes, when I was doing my research on you.
Yeah. Honestly, shoot, we've been doing YouTube like 3 years now, for real. And in the beginning, it started off slow, but that's why we moved to Texas, really, to branch out and do more with our YouTube brand, So since we've been out here, we've been working with a lot of bigger YouTubes. We're not under them yet, but we've been working with this management company who they help push it more out and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what we've been doing out here.
Damn, nice. Hell yeah, I can dig it.
Yeah,
I've watched a few of y'all's stuff, man, and y'all definitely had me rolling. Just laughing out with some of the pranks and stuff y'all done did.
Appreciate it. We got a new video about to drop right now. My wife uploading it right now.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll let you do the shout outs later. We'll make sure everybody knows. Yeah. Now, Khortni, I was curious if you could let us know, and I'll ask you too after SaySo KO too, some of your fight goals. Do you want to just go get the belt for BKFC? Do you want to go past that, go to a different organization? What are some of your goals that you have set?
I would like to fight out of the country.
Ooh.
Yeah. I know BKFC's been in London and Thailand. They're going to Asia. I also want to be number 1 at 135 because there's nobody at number 1 at 135 that I know of, and I am undefeated at 135 as of now. So just saying.
Yeah.
So if chasing a belt for BKFC is in my future, that would be phenomenal. I just started with my pro career, so I just want to see where it takes me. But going out of the country would be probably number 1. I've never left the U.S., so.
Oh, dang. Yeah. Go kick some ass. Get paid to leave?
Yeah.
You're coming from Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's dope.
I've been all over the United States. I've been to Florida. I've been to Oregon. I've traveled all in the central part of the U.S. But going to, Canada, the UK, anywhere outside of the United States, it would be just really freaking cool.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What you say, SaySo KO?
Honestly, I really just do the fighting thing for fun. I do want to keep improving, but I really just do it for fun. If I happen to get sponsored or seen from just, having fun, then so be it. That's dope. But I really just come out to do it for fun. I like the great vibes and stuff, meet new people. You feel me?
Absolutely. And did you see that question about training in a higher altitude? Do you train in higher altitude? Sorry.
So being in Denver, we're naturally at a higher altitude. We're at 5,280 feet. So that's why a lot of people come here to train and fight. There are times where we'll go up higher into the mountains and stuff like that to get a little bit more elevation training. But honestly, where we're at is prime location. I can go to anywhere sea level or, below where we're at, and it's incredible. It does help. It absolutely does help. I went to Oregon and Florida, and I thought that my gas tank was never going to empty. My lungs were not on fire. And there's a noticeable difference too when I come back. Like if I leave for 3 days and come back to Colorado, it takes me 2 weeks to reacclimate because like my lungs are on fire when I'm trying to train, and it's different. It's crazy. And I've lived here like my whole life. So
what are some of the, if you don't mind specifically, what are some of the things you do for cardio?
So I actually just this last camp, I started with a new strength and conditioning coach, and what I had done prior was like interval sprints, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, you know, for the duration of fight time. So if it's 15 minutes, then I'll do 15 minutes of 20 on, 10 off. But with my new coach for strength and conditioning, he had me doing the assault bike, you know, that damn Aerodyne bike. Oh my God, I hate that thing. He had me on a stationary bike with the resistance all the way up to 10, doing, you know, 1 minute sprints on that thing. Yeah, he has me doing all sorts of weird shit. And he told me, he's like, I've been training you for 5-minute rounds. I was like, oh, okay. And then I noticed a huge difference when it came time for fight night. If you watch the fight, I didn't even sit down in between rounds, and I was barely breathing hard at the end of the fight. So
honestly, I think it's better not to sit down in between rounds anyway.
Yeah.
Because when you sit down, that collapse your lungs. So
Yep.
a lot of that breath. I noticed that from fighting recently, like from fighting from the West Coast to out here, I used to sit down a lot. And then out here, you know, I had a lot more stamina after, you know.
Yep, I agree with you.
I'm not sitting down anymore between rounds. Nope.
Yeah, no, so that was fight number like 17 or 18 for me. And it was the first time I didn't sit down in between rounds. I will probably never sit down in between rounds again.
Damn. I have 3 against 1, so yeah, nope, never again.
These are to our audience. These are gems that these fighters are dropping. You guys take notes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
like having different
in street beefs.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. We're gonna smoke. Bring a smoke.
It.
Yeah, I like having the fighters. Everyone has a different perspective. Everyone trains differently, and you know, it's like everyone knows that you're not gonna watch. No one watches this show that's a hater. Everyone's here for the same reason. So drop a little knowledge here and there. Some people take this, some people take that. Not everyone can tune in, so it's great. And it always makes me better. Not to be beating up my bag. I'm about to duct tape that sucker soon.
That's awesome.
No, but yeah, it's I usually keep the guests about 45 minutes because we don't have to keep everyone super duper long. So since we're wrapping it up, can we get some shout outs anywhere we can find your social media, anything that you want to say that you want to let people know, and any thoughts that you have that you want to just be laid out?
Ladies first.
Where's the best place you fought and where's the worst place you fought, condition wise, quality wise, etc.? Ooh, that's a good question.
All right, cool. We got one more. Yeah, we got it.
The best place that I fought was probably this last event at the First Bank Center here in Colorado. The crowd was freaking unbelievable. If you watch the BKFC like replay, you can barely hear the commentators because the crowd was so loud the entire time. Like Colorado showed up. It was incredible. The worst place I fought? Shit, I don't know. I don't know because each one's been like just different.
Well, what's one place that you know you cannot go back to and be okay with that?
Roaches in the bathroom.
No, I mean, there's like little tweaks at different places, but there's no place I've ever like, oh my God, I won't go back. Kansas, their food, they leave a lot to be desired for like post weigh-in foods. You know, even IHOP is pretty shitty. But yeah, so I mean, I'm not fond of Kansas, but I have like a good fan base in Kansas, so I'm not complaining.
You just gonna pack your lunch, that's all.
Yeah, I just gotta bring my food with me.
Say something. Same question.
Well, best and worst place fought?
Yeah.
The best place, honestly, was this Dirty South yard. Honestly, I like they setup and how it was. Worst place, I don't think I really have a worst place. Now, I would never ever do MMA again in the smoke ranch. But you know, other than that, I don't really.
Is it because of the sand or is it because it's the smoke ranch?
The sand.
Okay.
And yeah, I can't MMA and saying
Yeah.
that it hurt.
I'm nervous to fight out there for that. Ooh, man.
I agree. Keep it standing.
Man.
Well, shoot, if y'all want to get into any shout outs, you know, now's the time.
Shout out, you feel me? Smoke Ranch. Shout out to the West Coast. Shout out to the Dirty South. Shout out Street Beef, period. Shout out Sam K. Shout out Buddy. Shout out Nay and Trey. And y'all can find all my socials at Nay and Trey. You feel me? Yeah. That's it.
Oh yeah. What about you, Miss Khortni?
To all my friends and family and teammates over at Pound for Pound Muay Thai, they welcomed me with open arms after switching facilities, and they were just absolutely incredible. And then you can find me at Khortni. There we go. I got it.
Yeah.
You can just Google my first name and it'll pop up. It's kind of crazy. My son likes to pull me up on Google to show his friends. Like, look.
My mom can beat your mom's ass.
Yeah.
My mom's famous. Look.
My mom could beat up your dad.
I know I might. I actually fought a dude once in my combat sambo match.
Wow.
You know, there's that.
You inside.
When I say I've done it all, I've literally done it all, even down to fighting a dude.
Damn. Yeah, you're tough as nails. You eat nails for breakfast.
For real.
I like it. Y'all need to look up her fights. Real talk.
Yeah, especially this last one. This last fight was it was my best fight to date. It was the bloodiest fight to date. Like, it was just fucking unbelievable.
She rearranged the other girl's face for free. Talk about free facelift.
Yeah, a little bit of some Botox, you know.
Man.
Extra plumper.
There was a nose missing.
I think there might have been.
She was like, it's just collagen injections. No.
Yeah, I give you a free facial rearrangement if you'd like.
Well, thank y'all very, very much. I guess if that's the case, we're going to cut the commercial real quick so you guys can hop on out and enjoy the wonderful night. And I am just very grateful for you both. Thank you so much for your time.
Man, appreciate you. Thank y'all for having me.
What's good? It's your homie, Freezes Christ. Y'all know the deal. Make sure y'all head on over to overtimehustling.com where you can catch all the latest merch, all the newest mags, all the media, everything, know what I mean? And you can also find me on Winging It with the homies Keith G, King Dale, and Payne Gusto. And you can catch me on Turf Tales with the homie SK. And if you got nothing to do on Sundays, even if you do got something to do, make sure you tap in the Overtime Reactions hosted by the homie Cuzzo. And I cannot forget the homie Jay over there at the Yankee and the Brit channel. So make sure y'all go over there and check them out. And hey, check me out, your boy Freezes, on that Real Talk with Jay. It was a hell of an interview, yo. Gotta do it again. I keep saying it because I mean it. We gotta do it again. I had a great motherfucking time. But anyway, you know who it is. Freezes H, OTH, Yankee and the Brit, Winging It, Turf Tales, Overtime Reactions, Chronicles Podcast. You know the drill. Cush's Corner. It's a motherfucking movement. So move with it or move out the motherfucking way. Simple and plain.
Overtime hustling, we hustling overtime.
Oh yeah, we are back. And you know, favorite two segments. Now, you got Buddy V.
Buddy V's Fighters to Watch.
We got 3 quick ones for you today. Now, the first one, Street Beef Scrapyard. I have to say, his name is King Kai. It was very killer. I really enjoyed his match with Jazz here. He actually showed a couple different times where he was getting a couple blows and he absorbed them. He went well. There were a couple times Jazz even had him in a headlock, and I mean, he continued to push through, and I feel like that's the definition of what a warrior is. He fought through it until the point where he turned the match around, took it into his own hands, and he ended up securing the win. And I know that he just had a fight with Scotty Showtime at this last event. I didn't see it yet, but it's about to debut on StreetBeefs Scrapyard, so make sure you go check that out.
Oof.
So I'm definitely excited. But yeah, he just put it on. So.
Yeah.
Second one, we got from the OG yard, Joe Mag. Man, I don't have anything but good things to say about this guy. He comes out explosive. He comes out ready to fight. And he also really caught my eye because he's about 155, which is my fight weight. So, I got to make sure I keep an eye on my competition. But I like he just doesn't – his gas tank doesn't really end. I mean, from beginning to end, even when he's breathing hard, he's just go, 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 go. And he puts his opponents when the pressure's put on his opponents, they don't always know how to react to it. And it works in his favor and to the point where he makes that match go for his way. So I feel like he definitely takes what he wants in that match. So I think it'd be a fun match too. But yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now the last one is from StreetBeefs West Coast. King Jawbreaker.
Yes, sir.
I mean, this guy I'm talking about has straight heat. He fought. I mean, my favorite one is when he fought Earthling 7. But I mean, all his matches, I like the technicality that he has. He looks like he has some good speed. He comes forward with what he has to do. Technical. That's the word I would like to use. And he's just fun to watch. I mean, there's some people who are technical and they're boring. All they want to do is wait for a counter. He'll wait for the counter and then he'll go on the offensive. So, I mean, he really will make you want to continue watching his matches. And that's how I feel. And those are my three.
Yeah. That was some good picks, man. But we know what time it is now, though.
It doesn't matter where you are in life. You gotta know your worth before you can be.
Yeah. All right, man. It's Samke and the Fire 5. We're talking about Fire 5-ass fights that y'all need to go look up. I'm going to go ahead and start with the first one. It's coming from StreetBeefs OG Yard. This is a classic. Classic. Black Goku versus Challenge Accepted. Man, you see the time on that? Action. Each and every round. If you know Black Goku, he's a character. There's controversy that comes with him. There's an oddness to his style that comes with him. And let's talk about Challenge Accepted real quick. This man is one of the most underrated fighters in all of StreetBeefs. Pound for pound, he's one of the best in all of StreetBeefs. Check this fight out. That's Black Goku versus Challenge Accepted. We're going to move on to the next fight. That's going to be coming out of StreetBeefs Scrapyard. Shitbird versus Jabberwocky. Man, if you know Jabberwocky, he's one of the best, period. I mean, this is another guy, arguably, he's one of the pound for pound guys. He's on that list. Shitbird, I'm not too familiar with the guy, but man, he came and he brought it in this fight. There was some good back and forth, and both men knew what they were doing. This is a great bout. Especially if you're into kickboxing, Muay Thai, this is something to see. Again, that's StreetBeefs Scrapyard, Shitbird versus Jabberwocky. Check that out. Fire. We're going to move on to the third firefight. This is coming out of StreetBeefs West Coast. We mentioned him earlier tonight, and he's going to get a shout out tonight on the Fire 5. Golden Arms versus Bearded King. I'm going to just let y'all look at that thumbnail real quick. Check that out. This is the epitome of Golden Arms. We see this man take a little bit of damage, early on, and out of nowhere, this man activates. And when he activates, Bearded King is on the wall, and he's catching those golden arms. Firefight. Check it out. Golden Arms versus Bearded King. That's StreetBeefs West Coast. We're going to go ahead and move on to the fourth firefight. This is coming out of StreetBeefs Dirty South. This is a hidden gem. Leighton Rice versus Anthony Rivas. This is about between two heavyweights, two big boys, right? Kickboxing. And both of these men know how to box. Both of these men know how to kickbox. This is a highly contested fight. Very fun to watch. It'll surprise you. Check that out. Fire 5. We're gonna move on. Let me go ahead and give them one more shout out. That was Leighton Rice versus Anthony Rivas. Check that out. That's out of Street Beefs Dirty South. The next fight, 5th and final one, it's coming out of Street Beefs OG Yard. Classic Memnon Warrior versus KG. If you know who Memnon Warrior is, which you should, if you're a true fan of Street Beefs, this man, he went pro after being undefeated, and he went on a hell of a streak. This is a classic bout. KG was no slouch. This man, he came in, he was throwing some fierce haymakers, and I mean, look at the thumbnail. Memnon came and handled business. You know what I'm saying? Look at that timestamp. The man came and handled business. This was a fire fight. Again, that Street Beefs OG Yard title match, Memnon Warrior versus KG. Check it out. Sam K and the Fire 5.
That was good shit. I like those. I like it a lot. Now, Memnon, yeah, you're right. That's a nice hidden gem.
Bro, Memnon, he's another one of those guys who he's on that pound for pound list, bro. He's one of the sharpest, cleanest in all the Street Beefs, bro. You know, and I think you know, some time has passed since he went pro. Again, a Street Beefs fighter who went pro. You know, people forget, and that's one of the things that I appreciate about this show is because we're able to appreciate and bring up fighters. And you know, with your segment, with my segment, there's all types of you know, there's all types of opportunities for people to get to know these great fighters, you know.
Exactly. Now you guys have no excuse. You hear that? 2 segments that work in collaboration to bring you the best of the best.
Yeah.
I can dig it. Man, but other than that, you have any shout outs you want to give since we're headed towards the end of the show?
Yeah, man, it's about that time. I definitely want to give a shout out to the greatest producer, Jay. You're always killing it, man. Appreciate you, bro. Buddy V, I want to give you a shout out. You know, always killing it as a co-host, you know, and giving me this opportunity. I appreciate you, brother.
You kill it too, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We do it. Dynamic duo. I want to give a shout out to Khortni. She was a great guest. Got to know her, you know what I'm saying? And just like our viewers, I'm going to be doing my homework on her, get to know her a little bit more. I want to say thank you to SaySo KO. He came through, and you know, it was great having him on. Always great talking to that man. I want to say thanks to the viewers. Thanks for the people in the live chat. You know, you guys are great, you know, hanging out with us and shit. Hit that like button if you guys are still here and haven't. Hit that like button for us. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Check us out every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. This is where you want to be. We're going to have a fire show next week. I want to give a shout out to Street Beefs West Coast, Street Beefs Scrapyard, Street Beefs Dirty South, and Street Beefs OG Yard. We appreciate y'all. OTH, we appreciate you guys. Heart in the Fight, we appreciate you guys. And I think that's it for me, man. If you know, I don't do the social media shit. If you got me, you got me. If not, you know where to see me.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Hell yeah, you got the whole bases covered. Man, all right. Well, Zuel_Buddy V for the Instagram, you know, fun sweepstakes. Zuel-world.com for my website. Now you want to check it out because I got awesome stuff. Shout out to Sun Woo, bringing that box. One of his glasses. He got a bunch of stash jars. One of them broke. Sorry about that. I'll replace it. I told him he knows I'm good for it. But that's what we do. We support each other here. Bring it from the Yankee, the Brit merchandise too. And keep your eyes peeled for that Instagram because I'm actually going to a fun pop-up event. There's going to be a bunch of lowriders, cool stuff. You never know what you might see. There's going to be live painting there, a big old ofrenda. So, yeah, you might see a couple lives coming out there. So you might want to tune in. Other than that, you know, like I said, shout out to everything that Samke said. I mean, he covered the whole bases, so sheesh. Other than that, well, you guys have a fun night. Thank you very, very much. As Jay says, one world, one love, deuces.